Cheltenham at BoyleSports. Bring it on.
Day 2 of the Cheltenham Festival, and I'm here with two people who claim to have backed Le Bake yesterday, and I believe that they are telling the truth because they told me before and after the race. You're very welcome to independent.ie with Leon Blanche from BoyleSports and of course Niall Cronin from the Herald, and it's all about Le Bake, lads.
Look, it was great just to see the horse jump off, I think, first of all.
No, it wasn't, because I backed Mellon, but go ahead.
Well,
anyway.
look, I think to be fair, he travelled like the winner pretty much 2 or 3 out, and Jack Kennedy gave him a superb ride. Great day for him. He's got so much confidence, hasn't he, for a young lad, and he's just about to turn 18, I think, next month. But superb ride, great scenes. The lads who owned the horse were jumping up when he started. They were happy.
It's mad, isn't it?
Well, you know what I mean. Like, so that goes to show you how much it meant to them, even for him just to be in the race, because he jumped off.
When did you actually back him, or did you back him before the race, or just after he jumped off?
No, I called in a favour with one of my bookmaker friends and said, if he jumps off, can I have the bet? And they said yes.
That's
so that
fair
was
enough.
it.
Niall, did you wait for him to consent to run with the rest of the field?
No, I wouldn't be that organised, Johnny. I went in last week, I never dreamed he would jump off, to be honest. But like, racing is a risk, and you take risks when you're having a bet. And I just felt that if at the price he was going to jump off, you were going to get a massive run for your money. Even if he had jumped off, hand on heart, I was converted to Mellon at that stage. I didn't think he would beat him, but to be honest, I was very happy he did.
I wasn't, but nonetheless, we're on to day 2, and obviously it's all about Duvan. He's going to go off maybe 2 to 7 or something like that in the Queen Mother, and it's not necessary to have a bet really on this race, I feel, because you're dealing with greatness here. Is there anything that can go wrong, guys?
So far, what we've looked at, no. He jumps impeccably. He's got an engine. He's got a turbo engine, hasn't he? So I think he'll win.
Do you have distance betting, Leon, on it?
Yeah, I think they set it at 7 lengths, which is, I'd say, probably in and around what he should be winning by. Maybe he'll win by more. I think if you were having a bet maybe without the favourite, I like the look of Special Tiara. Henry de Brom had 2 tours here yesterday. His horses are running well, and look, it's just something to try and chase home the superstar. I think anyone who's watching racing or who's here today, they're here for one reason, and that's to see this absolute machine of a horse. Hopefully, jockey, horse, come back safe and sound, and we can celebrate a superstar.
And he is a superstar, Niall, even though some would argue he hasn't actually met that many horses of a real high calibre so far.
Well, he's not going to meet him today either. Well, he'd meet horses of a high calibre, but just nowhere near as high as he is. And judging by yesterday, he's nothing to fear in Altior either if they both stay at that trip next season.
Do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to say that. Before we talk about that, Altior, he didn't exactly blow us away yesterday.
I'll tell you, I would have loved to see Charbel stay up and just see exactly what would have happened, because I'll tell you what, he had to work for that win yesterday. It was very unimpressive.
Yeah, I think he probably would have won it either way, but look, there was a lot of us saying beforehand that it didn't matter if he had went for Champion Chase, it would have been the wrong move. Like, on the base of yesterday, he would have no chance against Duvan. Now look, every horse is open to an off day. He could go to Sandown or hopefully Punchestown and maybe tear them up again, but here, look, we all want to see it, because at the moment there's no other horses around that's going to give Duvan a race. So if any horse is, it's going to be him, but I still think Duvan will be as comprehensive against him as he probably will be today. I'd be just about shading over the 7 lengths. I know his form would suggest his worst runs have been here, but I'd be just shading over the 7 lengths. I think Leon is right, especially Tiara is probably going to make the run in, so he could maybe hang on for a place, but I wouldn't even be going down that route, to be honest, because you're just sort of clutching at straws. Duvan is a superstar. You're not going to back him at 1 to 3, but you're going to enjoy him if you're here, and if you're not, you're going to book your tickets to go to Punchestown for the BoyleSports Champion Chase, because he is an absolutely incredible horse. And I know Hurricane Fly won his world record of Grade 1s, and we've seen Faheen and Any Power, but like, this lad is a superstar.
He is a superstar. Niall doing a nice bit of promotion for BoyleSports and Punchestown there in the one sentence, which was very well pre-rehearsed, I thought. What wins the RSA Chase? We all probably want Acapella Bourgeois to win it for the reasoning of a bit of emotion with Roger Loughran and Sandra Hughes. But what actually wins the race, guys? Leon?
I think Acapella would have a chance. I'd just be a little bit worried about the sun. The ground obviously has to be drying out all the time. I think some of the times yesterday would tell us that the ground was a little bit softer than what the description was. So I think certainly there was plenty of irrigation put down to make sure it was safe for the remainder of the week, because we don't have any rain due. I'd love to see Acapella Bourgeois do it. I hope he does. I still think if he was trained by anyone else, he'd be a shorter price than what he is now. It'd be a great story for Roger Loughlin. I don't know how many years he's been associated with the Hughes family, but he's there an awful long time. Alpha Days Oboe obviously bled the last time, but if one man can get a horse spot on for a day, it is Mouse Morris. I just hope it goes to Ireland. I think we've got a good chance. We're looking to take this favourite on, Might Bite. He's a 7-2 chance now, and there's not really much money around for him. I'd say the English lads might back him here on track, but we'll certainly be looking to get him in the book.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that, and I think the ground, it's quite warm here, guys, today, and the ground is not going to be soft enough for Acapella Bourgeois if connections, reservations are anything to go by. I'm with Alpha Days Oboe. Is today his big day, Niall?
Leon said there, Mouse is the right man, and we've seen on a line through False and Blue alone how Mouse's horses have been coming back into form in the last couple of weeks. I think it's a big ask. You know, it's all right, Mouse getting one here for the big day by leaving him off for, from Christmas till Cheltenham or something like that. But to come back having burst, it's a bit of the unknown, and I think he's short enough for a horse with those sort of issues. I think. Look, Acapella Bourgeois, absolutely. Everyone wants to see him. 17 years he's with the Uses. 9 years since he's had a ride here, I think. 8 or 9 years since he's had a ride here. It would be an absolute incredible story. And if Roger Loughlin does happen to have a winner today, either on Acapella Bourgeois or Peregrine Run, you want to watch that interview, because it will be an all-time classic. That will be one that goes viral. He is an absolute hero, though. He's a great man, Roger, and it'd be great to see it. I think if you're going to look for one at a price, Marinero is the little sneaky one. David Mullins was quite bullish on him in the hurl last night, and he's some good form. He was no match for Thistlecrack here the last day. If you're looking at the bare form and seeing 3 lengths behind Thistlecrack,
no shame in that, though.
You're getting excited, but he got as close as a lot of horses would, and I'm not saying Thistlecrack would.
25-1 chance.
Yeah, that's it. He's just a bit of value in a wide open race. Like if Might Bite is going to be favourite, Alpha Days Oboe, who burst the last day, is going to be second favourite. It's looking a wide open renewal. The ground here probably isn't as soft yet, but as viewers at home will know by the application of your sunglasses, it is a lovely day here, and the ground is drying out all the time. So
the application of my sunglasses.
Where did that one come from?
I don't know where that one came from.
And you're normally very eloquent, isn't he? Normally.
Well, it felt like spring came kind of quickly in Ireland, but over here it feels like nearly the summer's in the way, because there's real heat in that sun. And Neon Wolf is a horse who's probably maybe shown his best on softer ground, and he looks to be the kind of main, almost one of the bankers for the Brits in the Neptune. What do you make of his chance, Leon, and is he one you'd like to keep in the book or take on?
Well, I suppose now he's only I think he's a 2-1 chance, so he's short enough, and I think in the Neptune there's plenty of strength and depth. You'd have to say, when they had the decision to make would he run yesterday or run today, they've obviously walked the track, they've checked the track, they saw the weather forecast, so they've obviously made the choice that there's still enough juice in the ground for him to be at his best. He was very good at Haydock, but he's a very short price. You'd have to take him on. Bacardi's was good at Leopardstown, over 2.25 miles. The form obviously didn't work out great yesterday, but I think stepping up won't be a problem to him. But I'm going to go for a big price one here. Another one of Willie Mullins is Kenboy. I just thought Kenboy last day didn't jump well behind Let's Dance, but if his jumping can improve, I think he's a very unexposed horse. David Mullins in the saddle. I'd be interested to hear what David wrote about him in his Herald column, but I just think at 25-1, maybe he's an each way bet.
I'm with Bon Papa, his stablemate, at a similarly big price, maybe a bit shorter. Niall, it's an open enough looking Neptune if you take Neon Wolf out of it, I suppose.
It is, but I think he is one of the bankers of the meeting, to be honest. I think he's a proper horse. Katie fancies Bacardi's, and she made a good case for him in that he was here last year in the Champion Bumper, had a good hard race, which gave him plenty of experience for racing. He was to Aintree as well, I think, wasn't he? And he's had a few runs over hurdles. He's won a Grade 1, and she was just saying there's no doubt Neon Wolf is a very good horse, but it may come too soon for him, and it was a good argument, but I just think this lad is another top class, one from the top drawer, and I think he's going to be very hard to beat. Slippers Madden actually was responsible for getting him over to Harry Fry's. He recommended him when he won his point-to-point. He's Patrick Mullins' only point-to-point winner. And and he's just done absolutely nothing wrong. Obviously, he's stepping up and trip for the first time here on the biggest of stages, but I don't think anything will phase this horse, and I think he's a horse that, touch wood, if he can stay right, we could be talking about him in this place for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years.
And did David say anything about Kenboy?
Yeah, he thought if Let's Dance ran in this race, he'd have given her a massive chance. He couldn't see her getting beat if she had ran in this race. And Kenboy ran a good race behind him, or behind her, the last day, and expects Kenboy to come on for that. So again, he was bullish enough, but he's like yourself, Leon. He's a confident fella.
Good.
Yeah, well, Leon, you are a confident fella. Are you comfortable entering the undercard today?
Oh, Johnny, it's hard, isn't it? I mean, I think probably the Fred Winter, Tony Martin's horse, Long Call. I think you'd have to give that a little bit of a squeak. Certainly when you hear the people that are connected with it talking it down, that's normally a good sign. Sure. So I think Long Call will go close. The bumper is an absolute, I mean, if you're struggling for a winner and you're trying to get out of the bumper, I think Joseph's horse, West Coast Time, might just outrun his price. The last day he got beat by Carter McKay. It was a very messy race, and I just think at a faster gallop here, I think he has enough speed to travel, and 14, 16 to 1 maybe each way, but I won't be getting stuck into the bumper, Johnny. I hope I'm not looking for a winner in the last.
Same as Niall. Do you like Anthony on the undercard?
Well, we haven't mentioned the man of the moment at all yet, and that's Gordon Elliott, who had an incredible day here yesterday. Whether he can do the same again today remains to be seen, but I think he has 2 live chances. I think Tombstone, all the value has gone out of that now, but I think he has to be a massive player in the Coral Cup.
Phil Smith gave them a nice little early Christmas present, only giving them an extra £1, didn't he?
He obviously didn't think he was running a handicap now.
I think the talk of the supplementary for the champion hurdle said, well, we'll give you this little tempter, and they're after taking it. Yeah. He walked by there a minute ago, maybe.
Phil, he didn't seem to recognise us.
No, strange. But look, I think Tombstone is a hell of a bet. If you want to look at one maybe at a price in that race, it'd have to be Mr. Miyagi. Like, if you go back through that Supreme Novices hurdle last year, the form from first all the way down to the back markers has just been incredible. He was one of them. Back in handicap company, he could be one at a bit of a price, just that the value has gone out of Tombstone. I think Tombstone will win, and I suppose you're better off backing a 4-1 winner than a 16-1 loser. And Fiona in the bumper is a decent price. Again, I was happy to see the times yesterday. They saw that the ground isn't too bad, but people are trying to knock her bumper form in Fairy House. There was no second that day, and that was a winner's bumper. She absolutely skated in, and I think, look, it's hard for fillies to win this race. Only 2 have done it before, but look at the way the ball is bouncing for Gordon this week. He really is absolutely flying at the moment, and I think at 14-1 or 12-1, she represents a fair bit of value. Some days a good horse, ridden by Kate, trained by Jessie Harrington. Kate told me back in October this was a champion bumper horse, so she was definitely on the ball there. He has to be one of the leading players, but I'd be sticking with Fiona for Gordon Elliott.
Yeah, they say back the first horse of connections you saw today, and the first person I saw was Kate Harrington. Just before we go, Leon, can you reiterate the BoyleSports offer, because we're taking on a hot favourite with Duvan, obviously, if you want to today.
As Niall alluded to yesterday with Altior, if you finish 2nd or 3rd in every race at the Cheltenham Festival to the starting price favourite, you get your money back. And we're also doing, if you fall
up to 20 quid, is it?
Up to 20 quid, and the same applies to if you fall at the first fence or the last fence. We'll give you your money back up to 20 quid as well. So look, it's for the people out there who want to have their tenner each way, or whatever they do, 20 win. It gives them a great opportunity that if they nearly win, hit the crossbar, you get your money back as a free bet.
And I know a person who actually backed Lebec at 999-1 anti-post for the Supreme, so it can be done. Enjoy the rest of the coverage on independent.ie. We'll be here, of course, Thursday and Friday as well, and hopefully we'll have a few more winners for you, possibly as big a price as Lebec.
BoyleSports will give you money back if your horse finished 2nd or 3rd to the SP favourite, or if your horse falls at the first or last jump on every race at Cheltenham. Plus, bet €10 with BoyleSports today and get €30 in free bets. Cheltenham at BoyleSports.